Hey, what's up? So this is every reason why I almost gave up on starting a YouTube channel. So in the beginning, it was a big decision to decide to say put some other things to the side on the back burner and pursue learning about cinematography, so just making the decision. It certainly took, I took some courses online. There was like a free week-long kind of thing that you participate in through Think Media, and it was like Sean Cannell and his crew of people, and they kind of, it was, anyways, like I learned a lot of stuff from there, certainly just ideas about how to do it. One of the biggest ones that I've learned, or I say the biggest takeaway, was just that you have to commit. Like, you have to decide that this is something that you're going to do, and you're going to put in a lot of time, which takes a while for it to pay off as well. It's not like you're just going to, like, I don't know, at least for me, or the understanding, just to say it, everybody's different, but it's like you're not just going to have 1 million subscribers overnight. Maybe, but like how, right? Because like, sure, a video can go viral, but how is it going to get seen if nobody knows who you are? How is this video going to go viral? You have to have a reach. So there's like strategy involved and that kind of stuff. So yeah, it was a big deal, just sitting in front of the camera. And like, for me, I refuse to parade myself around if I'm not comfortable with the way that I look. So it's like, to me, it's like diet has to be on point, as well as exercise, the things that contribute to health, good sleep, stress reduction, or just not being stressed, which meditation is like a part anyway. So like these things, so it's like, okay, you get healthy and stuff like that because you're going to be on camera, it's going to show up, and then you sit in front of the camera, and it's like, of course the audio is important, so you have to have the microphone and you have to have something to put it in. There's a technique. I mean, you don't want to record directly into your camera because reasons, probably, I think, anyways. And that's the thing, it's like you think, because there's like conflicting information, and you go on YouTube and you watch other people's videos, and it can psych you out because they say that they're in their middle and you're in your beginning. So it's like, but I don't know, I would get psyched out and then just need to like step back and then like come back to it, just get overloaded with information, just all of this stuff about cinematography and filmmaking and whatnot, and just like, well, am I a YouTuber? Am I a vlogger? And like, what do these things even mean? And then like, so like, yeah, equipment, having the right microphone, because it's, and then the camera, it's lights, camera, action, lights. How many lights like this? I have lights. I think there's 10 lights around me right now. And every single one of them is necessary. Every one. Without it, it doesn't have the effect that I'm looking for. And, I have a lot of them connected to my phone. So it's like you have to invest. It's like, to be a professional, you need the tools of a professional, or you will suffer the pains of a novice or whatever. And it's not like you need everything, but it's like, if you're gonna do it right. So it's like, figuring all that kind of stuff out. So a camera, I do not have a camera. I have a nice camera, but it is not necessarily the best for YouTube. So I use a Sony RX1R2. I have this camera. It's a very nice camera. It is a fixed lens, full frame, mirrorless camera, Sony. And so I use this camera because I go to places like Machu Picchu and Tikal, Chichen Itza. I go around the world, and I see things, and I like taking pictures, and I love sharing the beauty that I see in the world with other people. And some people like, yeah, and it's like with a good camera, your photos are like better than everybody else's pictures, just because of how it works. I mean, you get what you pay for with a camera. But it's not for YouTube. Does it make videos? Yes. But it overheats because it's compact, fixed lens, full frame. So I can only make, like, say, a 20-minute video. There is a capacity. I cool my camera off before I bring it in, and then also I had to buy an external monitor, and I like all Sony stuff, so then it's like, and it was expensive, the one that they make, but it's just like, okay, well, I want to do this, and it's like, or should I just buy another camera? And then, but then there's a compromise there, because then it doesn't have some of the more advanced features that this camera has, and that I enjoy, that I like, that I understand to be ideal. So that was a huge decision to go with my camera, as opposed to getting, there was like the ZV-1 or something like that. It's more like a vlogger's camera, but anyways, huge decision there. And then just using the camera, like you have to learn about photography like now, because you can't have anything on auto. You can't just be shooting and be like, oh, I want the fuzzy background or whatever. That aperture effect. So you have to understand aperture. You have to read somebody explain aperture to you. It is not something, hyperfocal distances. I mean, it's just like, and once you get it, you're like, whoa, that's how a camera works. This is amazing. And how to use aperture in different ways. I mean, that's why there's a company called Aperture, I guess, because it's a big deal. And then and understanding you can't have anything on auto. You can't have ISO on auto. You can't have your exposure balance on auto, or it's taking a balance of these different light sources, and then you can't get the desired effect because it's a balance between everything. So you have to have your ISO set up right. Everything is relatives. And then it's like, so you have to choose a frame rate, 24 or 30 frames a second or more, depending on what you're doing. And then there's like, you choose your shutter speed, and then you choose your aperture, and you choose your exposure, and then you choose what are the other things? Other things anyways. And it all has to be on manual. So you have to choose a file format as well within your camera. You're going to shoot in MP4s or AV, something this and that, right? Everything is a consideration, and so you have to dial all of that stuff in. And then there's like just choosing, so like camera, okay, lights, you have to purchase lights. I mean, they're not cheap, and stands for everything, and like things that hang on to things so that you can like put lights here and there and not have a million stands, and like this is a thing over my head, and just like all of these things, it's a lot. So lights, camera, if you don't have a screen where you can see yourself, then you have to like get up and check, and you can't even see if the camera's on. At least with my camera, there's no like light, and then you're like constantly, and then trying to like frame the shot. So I tried hundreds of locations before this. I tried it from many angles, distances from it, because it's all about framing what you want in there and what you don't want in there, and it's a lot of trial and error to finally get a look that you like. I used to use a lot of color in the background here, like there were darker, more color, but it's just like to me, I decided it was distracting. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna do that. I'm what's up, not that. That's the background. So then just like, and then the distance from you to the camera, It's like because my camera is fixed lens, there's no zoom, and so I have, my thing is I'm about 47 inches away and the camera sits about 47 inches up, and so that, I don't know, to me it's like a box that, and then I fit here in it, and there's enough room here and there and this and that and all that kind of stuff. So all of those things, huge considerations, you know, because there is an effect also if you're too close to the lens because of how a lens works, how they're designed. And then like if you're too close, it kind of warps the image. It's just how it is, how cameras work anyways. And yeah, so what else? White balance. That's a thing. Aperture, shutter speed, yeah, all that kind of stuff. You have to get comfortable with just the way that you look. You have to fall in love with yourself. And I don't mean in a narcissistic way. I just mean like you have to accept yourself and say, you know what, this is who I am. This is good enough, right? Like people aren't looking at the things you're looking at, you know, like scrutinizing you. Wondering, it's like, oh, am I too skinny? Is my hair, you know, do I look tired or this? I don't know. You know, I don't wear makeup. I'm like super natural. But yeah, I mean, so you have to be comfortable doing it. And then you have to learn how to edit videos. And I don't edit my videos anymore. I cut the end and the beginning, you know, and then music and then the thing, because it's like, who cares? Seriously. I mean, for me, like you're here to see me because you enjoy hearing me talk, you know, not because I cut out every and like and but and no, not happening. So finding your mode, finding your style, or whatever, right? And I was like reading scripts, and it was a real problem for me because I would spend so much time writing a script and then reading it like a robot, and then it was just like between this and this, and I just eventually it's like, no, I don't need that, but I had to come to that. And that was a serious issue for me. Huge roadblock. I would spend a week writing a script or more, right? I spent 10 years writing a book, right? And then like I also could spend a week editing a video that only like 10 people are going to see. You know, maybe later somebody will see some of my old videos, but right now it's like, okay, you got to trigger that algorithm. And it's like, I've heard, like they say on Think Media, that you need 35 videos up just to trigger the algorithm. I mean, a lot of people are more focused on the whole monetization. So it's like 4,000 watch hours and like 1,000 subscribers. It's like, you know, one step at a time. That's going to be awesome. But until that happens, you know, focus on this. So it's like I was making a video a week. I need my life to change right now. And then it was like, okay, I'm making no, not enough. Now it's 2 videos a day. And I just spit it like this, you know, and this is who I am. This was like why I decided to do this to begin with, aside from making like current events stuff. I like to report. I always have a perspective on what's going on in the world. But like, just be like, I do this anyways in my days. I like share the things that I find to be fascinating with people. This is my angle. I don't have an angle. I do not have an angle. I'm just me. That is it. And so, yeah. So all those things, you know, overcoming. I'll tell you something, when I started making videos, once I dialed it in and I had the lights and I had everything basically set up, and then it was like I procrastinated and I had to confront a deep-seated fear of being judged, maybe, being open, being in the public eye. I was scared so bad, and like, I got over it. You know, my first video was this, as like Sean says, you got to punch fear in the face. You know, you have to do that. You just, you know, it's what, you know, persistence is like, you know, continuing, you know, despite apparent opposition, or like, you know, courage is not the absence of fear, it is the choice to move forward despite fear. And so that was huge for me. And I tell you something, it changed my life, because that fear was in me regardless, and it was affecting other things. And now, just because I went through this journey, I am so much better off than I was before. And I learned a ton of stuff about cinematography. It's super cool. And like, I got my drone license last year, so it's like you know, it's all coming together, all these pieces. I was meant for this. I know I was. I could feel it in my bones. So, yeah, those are the reasons, the main reasons why I almost gave up. Also, too, like over it took a year, an entire year for me to make a single video. I was actually working on one, which is, it's my second video that I ever published, and like, just because I couldn't finish it. It's like, I was like, for me, if it don't feel right, it ain't happening. And it's just like, I couldn't finish it. There was something I just couldn't figure out. It used like a lot of my old footage. I went through every footage I ever had, and I used about like 6-8 seconds of only the best stuff. And then what? And it was just like, I don't know. And then, you know, and then it's like, you got to get to a point where you realize, just let it go, you know? It's okay. I know you worked on it for a long time. I get it. You know, it's like my book. I figure I'll publish it, right? But like, I know I will, because it's pretty good. But with that video, yeah, it was a big thing, just saying, yeah, I'm just gonna let this slide for a bit. And then started this process, and then gotten better and better with every video. They say you get better with 1% with every video. I think I get better more like 5-6% with every video. They really put in an effort. I am seeking to be of service and be heard, you know, yeah, make it on this platform. It's a thing these days. Apparently kids want to grow up to be YouTubers. It's very, very different than how it was when I was a kid. I'm still a kid though, you know, it's how some people talk about me like I'm a big kid. And I am, you know, I think that that's a part of why I am the way that I am, because I never lost touch with my inner child. I never stopped being the little kid, the big kid that I am. And I think that adds something to life, and it is a quality. Anyways, so yeah, you know, all the reasons why else did I almost not, yeah, you know, almost gave up on this journey, just because it was taking so long. You know, a year later, you start to get discouraged and like I said, psyched out by watching other people's YouTube videos. And it's just like, around every corner, you're just like, you don't have any clue what you're doing. You know what I mean? It is just like, it was nerve-wracking. Well, it was discouraging. It wasn't I don't know, whatever. You know, it was tough, but I am very glad that I pushed through, because I think I got a handle on this. And I tell you something, I feel something every time I post a video, every time I don't let something in my life slide, and then I make a video about it. Don't write it down, don't make notes, just make a video about it. And then when I post it, I swear it adds to my confidence. I mean, I'm already a pretty confident dude, but like, it's a boost. Like I feel like I don't know, it's if I feel lighter or I feel more empowered, but I feel like I've done something. And I certainly feel like I've accomplished something because I have. And that is a beauty and a magic of it that I think that, you know, you might get to experience if this is right for you, if you have something to say, if you know, you want to be an influencer and you want to share stuff, you know, that's great. I would only say, you know, I've said this before, be careful that you do not lead others to barking up the wrong tree. One of my issues with a lot of people who influence is that from my perspective, they're not playing with a full deck of cards. And so they say things and just their whole attitude is based on their understanding, which is incomplete. So it's like, you know, there's an old saying, it's like a wise man speaks because he has something to say, a fool because you gotta say something. It's like, you don't. I mean, you know, your mom said is don't speak unless you have something good to say, or they also say, only speak if what you have to say is more beautiful than silence. See, that's enough. They say silence is the language of God. It's pure potential, you know. So, yeah, you know, deciding that this is the right path for you and then pulling the trigger and doing it. And like Sean says, you have to commit. You know, there was also, you know, it helped. I used to watch this guy, Peter McKinnon, for a while, just because it helped me to see his energy. It's just like, he's not afraid to be himself on camera. And I needed to see that. There's another guy, Dan McDonald, the Life Regenerator. He just gets up there and he raps, you know, like, and by rap just means like have an informal conversation, not necessarily the rhyming aspect that most people call rap, right? But like, yeah, like, and it's just like, he's just like no holds barred, right? And like respectful. Just because like you're letting it loose doesn't mean that you're like saying rude things or like being condescending or like anything that is not enjoyable to listen to, right? Inclusion. That's what's up. Let's include each other in the conversation. Let's not push anybody out. Let's be positive and respectful, and let's share the joy that's in our hearts. Let's inspire each other to be better people, to make this world a better place. We are on the brink of a renaissance right now, like a resurgence of culture or like artistic and like expression of like beautiful things. People are making things now to last, to be fixed, to be repaired. Quality things that you would want to pass down to your children that are not going to end up in a landfill, that are not supporting companies who do not care about the environment, who are more interested in profits than the end user experience. This is unacceptable, and it's going to stop. And you don't have, that's the thing, we don't have to like fight that. We create new systems, new products that replace the old ones as the old system crumbles under its own weight. We got this, people. There's nothing to be afraid about. Yeah. We are so lucky to live in this time. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to talk a lot more about this, but you know, this is enough for now. I'll leave you with that. And yeah.